Hey everyone, back with another video. I'm having some problems with my phone, so I had to use my old camera. So right now, my storage on my phone is like really messed up. So I got an SD card, and I'm like really confused. I don't get technology. I really don't, and I hate it. I hate dealing with it. It's just a source of frustration for me. Anyway, so I had to consolidate these two videos that I made a few days ago, because I'm having a problem with the upload. So basically, the first one was titled Hairbands and Chatter. And I was basically stating that I really don't have a desire to continue my friendship with Joel, only because I feel as though, the way that he handled this whole issue by keeping this secret from me is something that makes me feel like it's time to just not even really be civil, just take care of business. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking care of business. I was accused of things and without any confrontation, meaning that all this gossip that was going on around me, things are being held against me for things that nobody ever came right up to me and confronted me with. And I've done over 580 videos, and after a decade of all of this, it's easy for me to put the pieces together because my schedule is so precise. I'm just going to work, coming home, and it makes it easier for me to remember certain details and certain issues. So this is not me being mostly intuitive, like, psychic or anything like that. A lot of it just makes sense just based on the things that people said, the little behaviors that was going on, and the timelines, okay? That's how I'm putting most of it together. Things that would have gotten worse had I not provided any clarification, because this whole thing is based and generated off of gossip and people's assumptions. Let's see here. Joel's character and his family is far worse than mine, okay? But racism blinds people to that fact, okay? Doesn't matter if their family lives a lifestyle that, to me, with standards that are extremely low. What was the issue was me lying to my husband, which basically challenged, in their mind, white supremacy. And to me, this just goes to show you how the majority feels about white supremacy, and because obviously, what harm did that really do? It didn't do anything, okay? And it's a very small issue, and people lie to their husbands a lot, okay? A lot, about a lot of other things, okay? So, this issue to me is very minor, okay? But the racism ignited it. So anyway, I also suspect that black women are targeted for similar reasons based on our hair. I mentioned before that a lot of white people have a lot of misconceptions about our hair. A lot of people think that we're here just doing it, or they're doing it for other reasons other than proper grooming, okay? Like I mentioned before, you can go ahead and refer to Google or look at some videos on YouTube relating to black hair if you truly want to be educated. Because, I think when you try to educate people, especially a lot of racist people, they're not interested in being educated. What they're interested in doing is provoking and inciting racism, okay? And that's exactly what has happened to me. Okay, my negative image, the second video was basically my negative image is due to my family, my blood relations, okay? I had a child out of wedlock back in 1993. And, actually, I think that my son has brought a lot to my life because, he gave me the motivation to do something, to put the wheels in motion, okay? So, that's not saying that I think that people should have children out of wedlock, okay? But sometimes order comes out of chaos. And I consider my son's life a blessing to me. Some women are promiscuous, okay? I learned from my lesson, okay? But some women are promiscuous, and I'm not judging these women, okay? I personally, in my life, okay, I believe that, you have to, giving yourself to everybody, what makes the relationship that you choose to have permanently sacred. So if you, go off and do this, and this with everybody, then what do you have to give to the person that you want to be serious with? I mean, you've kind of spread yourself thin. And, for some people, that's fine. Some people like that. Some people like having threesomes. Some people like doing all that kind of stuff. And that's for them, okay? But for me, that would be completely opposite of who I am as a person, okay? Because I want everything in my life to be sacred. Just like my friendships, you know, I don't believe in a bunch of people having a bunch of friends, okay? You might have a lot of associates, you might have a lot of acquaintances, but when it comes down to friendships, those are very rare, okay? And when you do find a good friend, you do certain things for that particular friend than you would for other people. That means like loaning money, giving advice, having them come over, sharing a meal, these sort of things. These people deserve to be on a pedestal. So that's my personal philosophy in life, okay? And I don't try to impose that on other people. My family doesn't forgive any mistakes, okay? They don't believe in learning from mistakes, okay? I had a child out of wedlock, okay? And I learned from my mistakes, okay? I don't really consider my son a mistake. I don't. You know, I believe that, you know, I don't believe any child is illegitimate. I think all children are legitimate. If they breathe, they walk, they live, they have the right to be here, okay? Obviously, if he was conceived and he's alive, that means that he's supposed to be here, okay? Now, I'm saying most people, ideally, you want to get married, you want to have two people supporting that child, okay? But sometimes people make mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes, okay? And like I said, you know, he was a blessing to me. Okay, what else was I going to say? Oh, yes, the catty women reflects their desire to be promiscuous. These sort of things, people accusing me of that because they're looking at me thinking, well, I don't know why they would think something like that, but the behavior, the jealousy of these women is basically reflecting a desire for them to be that way. That's what they want. Maybe they think, well, if I was her, I would be doing this, 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 and this. I don't want to do that, okay, because that does not preserve me in the way that I want to be preserved, okay? That's just how I look at things. I am a very old-fashioned person, believe it or not. Okay, there's nothing about me that appears promiscuous, okay? Just because I dress up for work, just because I do my hair, and just because I apply makeup doesn't mean anything, okay? A lot of women do that. A lot of professional women do that. It's a way of being cultivated, think of it that way. But it has nothing to do with promiscuous. Promiscuous is completely different. Promiscuous is wearing low-cut blouses. Promiscuous is wearing micro mini-skirts. Promiscuous is, there's a difference between the two, okay? And I'm definitely not in that category, so don't even class me that way. Now, as a teenager, I've always been old-fashioned. Since I was a kid, I've always had these old-fashioned ideas. I always applied my ideas to my friendships, meaning if I had a friend, I felt really close to that friend, okay? And I wanted to bond with them, and I put them on a pedestal. I've always been that way. I've always been able to decipher what kind of relationships I wanted, and this, as an adult, is even more fine-tuned, and I actually have proof of my reasoning. So I don't regret that. Let's see here. Yeah, the jealous desire of these women is a reflection of, the jealous behavior of these women reflects their desire. I prefer to live a wholesome life, you know. I don't like to come off as a goody two-shoes, okay, because I'm not, okay. I mean, I've made my mistakes, okay. But I've had very few boyfriends. I mean, there's a women my age who've had, like, multiple boyfriends. I mean, like, a shitload of boyfriends. Compared to them, I would say very, very few, okay. Oh, yeah, I don't think people would have these assumptions if it wasn't for my family. Some people have sexual requirements. Yeah, some people do have sexual requirements. Some people are just very highly sexually charged people, okay, and I'm not judging them, okay, but for me to live that sort of lifestyle is completely opposite of everything that I believe, okay, and I'm not saying that they can't have good relationships, but if you're somebody who believes in having sacred relationships, then that wouldn't be right. It wouldn't fit into that sort of mindset or lifestyle, okay, so it's not for me. Let's see here. I don't even like people implying about me. I avoid mainstream society standards in that regard, in a lot of things. Okay, I don't listen to their what do you call it, or be a part of their mainstream thinking. I don't adapt to their catchphrases. I don't use their slang. I don't use their terminology. I don't incorporate those dumb words and things into my vocabulary, and I'm not the kind of person that just wants to, you know, lay up with everybody, okay? I'm just not like that. Oh yeah, I was going to bring up my mother. My mother is a person who doesn't, really take pride in her appearance. Okay, she's not. She's one of those people, and that's her choice. Okay, but a lot of narcissistic parents, kind of have attacked their children, and I think in some cases she kind of did that to me. I believe that people should stay fit even after they're married. And I'm not saying, like, for example, you have to be like perfect. Okay, because nothing's perfect. But I'm just saying is you should take pride in your parents at all times, okay? That's the way it should be, okay? And it can't be disputed. You can't dispute that, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that you're trying to get somebody. It means that, I like making clothes. I like to wear clothes. I like looking good in my clothes. I like them. It's for me. When I look in the mirror, I'm happy. It's about your own self-esteem. And so I think a lot of people have it different. Like some women, they never thought about clothes. They never thought about doing anything with themselves. And then if they find somebody, then all of a sudden they change their whole, their whole appearance and everything like that. I'm not like that, okay? I've always been this way. Since I was 13 years old, I've always loved clothes. Even when I was a little kid, I loved clothes. I used to watch TV shows like The Cher Show, and I used to look at Cher and I'm thinking, God, that gown Cher is wearing, and I would love her clothes. You know what I mean? I love clothes, okay? No, I don't want to do it for a living. It's just a hobby of mine. I like putting together pieces. I love thrift shopping. I like getting old pieces of clothing. I like wearing old clothes. That's just my thing. Just my thing. Let's see. And I do understand people's weight issues because, like I said, this is quite a phenomenon. I mean, like 30 years ago, you would see the majority of people who were like of a normal weight, and now people are a lot more overweight. And I'm not judging these people because, like I said, I do fully understand, okay? There's a lot of things that are in the food, a lot of things in prescription medicine that are making people behave and do the things that they're doing. So it's in a lot of situations, it's beyond their control. I have compassion for these people, and I fully understand, and I'm not judging them. However, and my mother doesn't seem to understand things like that, okay? In her mind, and I really do think that deep down inside, she has to come to the realization that what she really thinks is bullshit. So that's one of the reasons why my narcissistic mother, my siblings, act the way that they do, because she's a person in their mind who had authority. So just like in the workplace, this woman has authority over her children. She projects an image, she points a finger, and then the children attack me. Bullshit, okay? Having a child in this world, you want your child to do better than yourself. That's a part of improving the generations, okay? I have struggled more than the average person has for no good reason, okay? So you want the best things for your child. So for when I think about my family being the way that they are, they have a very bad mindset. And I would like to say that I don't want to adapt to their way of living. I can see a lot of errors and flaws in it, and it's just not for me, okay? So what I do in my life is no reflection on them and vice versa, okay? Because I'm completely independent in thought, mind, and actions than they are. I don't agree with what they do. So anyway, my mom had her first heart attack when she was 42, and I would say that she is a little ignorant about certain things, okay? Now, I'm not saying that, I do certain things, like I picked up smoking again, okay, and I know it's bad. Like I said, every single time I pick up the cigarette, I'm like, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I'm going under a lot of stress, okay? More stress than you can even imagine. And I'm not trying to justify it, but it is very difficult to deal with this issue that's going on in my life right now. So it's something that I picked up. And I pick it up every once in a while, drop it for a few years, and then, I've been doing it. And I'm tired of it, okay? And I'm trying to quit. I'm trying to break it down in increments or whatever. But my point is I'm aware of it, okay? So I'm not judging other people. Just like I don't think overweight people should judge drug addicts, because you shouldn't have those sort of things in your mind. If you are guilty of something, you have no right to point the finger, because it all breaks down to addiction, and it all breaks down to the abuse of your body. So I don't believe in saying, well, this person, that person, this person. If you are overweight, don't judge the drug addict. If you're a drug addict, don't judge the overweight person. And it's just that simple, okay? Because what you have is a flaw. Kind of like how the Bible talks about, don't try to remove the thorn or whatever, the dye or what is that, the stick or whatever from somebody else's eye until you remove whatever. Anyway, I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. So my mother has a 1950s mentality, okay? And so people with that sort of mindset really should not have anything to do with my life, okay? Because those ideas and those views are outdated, and they're extremely oppressive to women. Yeah, there's nothing in my house that indicates that I'm an overly sexed person. I've been to a lot of single women's homes, And, you know, I see like their massage oils, and they wear very sexy panties, if you even want to call them panties, okay, because there's no place for their butt cheeks. I mean, it's just like out there, okay? And I can assure you, I don't have a pair like that, okay? I like to be covered up, okay, as much as I possibly can. Yes, I wear tank tops, but it's hot as hell. Anyway, yeah, nothing like that's in my house. In my life, sex has its place, but I'm not obsessed with it. Let's see, I'm not obsessed with it at all, actually. I present myself as professional. There's nothing about me as provocative. Facebook is drama. Everything that, you know, like I mentioned before, my family knew that I lied to Joel. I told my sister about it. Everything else is drama. They had plenty of time to talk to me, to converse with me. They were in the loop, okay, but yet they never said a word about it to me. So I hold them, like, responsible. Oh yeah, people need to stop avenging Joel. If they have any sort of conscience, they need to stop avenging him and acting as if, you know, he's some sort of, like, guy who needs to be protected. No, okay? Absolutely not. His behavior is far worse than anything that I could have ever done. As far as and same with his family. Now, I don't hate Joel. Joel, to me, is a puppet for that very controlling family, and I do feel sorry for him. But still, the same thing. Like I said, racism fuels that. And I never heard from Steve Lyles back in 2008. Like I said, I would love to get back in contact with him. Well, I never really was in contact with him, but I would like to see him again, okay? He's a beautiful person. Making up stuff because, oh yeah, they made, women were making up stuff about me because that is exactly what they want. They want that sort of stuff. If you want that sort of lifestyle, you live that sort of lifestyle. This is not the kind of lifestyle I want, okay? And like I said, I could be friends with the most promiscuous women. I used to know a woman who used to tell me everything that she did. She did it with men, she did it with women, and she did it, you know, with the both at the same time, and this woman did everything. And I would sit there and listen to her, and I would be drinking coffee and everything, and that's just what she told me, okay? I got quite an earful, but I never judged her. That's just her way of living, okay? But do not associate that sort of stuff with me, okay? And I'm not saying these people are debaucherous, but for me it would be, because if I believe in having a sacred life, then therefore that sort of behavior would be debaucherous to me. It would be demeaning to me. So it's not something I want. So stop trying to associate me with that. So anyway, I think that's about all I really wanted to say. I have been working on crafts today. I've been making headbands out of extra fabric, and I made some hair brushes, which I did show in my last video, but unfortunately that video didn't get to be uploaded because I'm having issues with my phone. That's one of the reasons why I'm consolidating the videos right now. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I will be back with another one later. Have a great day. Take care.